Hey yo, what's good guys? I have something to report. There's a new best Grail unit in Fire Emblem Heroes. Okay, not necessarily new, he's technically been out for a while, but he just recently received a weapon refine that's so far ahead of pretty much every other Grail unit available right now. That's right, I'm talking about Nesala. So how about, before we get into this video, let's take a quick look at all the effects his weapon contains. Grants speed plus 3 if unit initiates combat or foe's HP is greater than 75% at start of combat. Grants attack speed plus 5 during combat and deals damage equal to 15% of unit speed at start of turn if units adjacent to only dragon or beast allies, or if units are not adjacent to an ally user otherwise in reverse. If unit transforms, the unit can move 1 extra space. That turn does not stack. If unit transforms, grants attack plus 2. If unit is transformed or a foe's HP is greater than 75% at start of combat, grants attack speed plus 5 during combat. And the following effects will occur based on the value of unit speed minus foe speed. If greater than equal to 1, grants adjustable cooldown charge plus 1 to unit for attack. Only highest value applied does not stack. If greater than equal to 6, neutralize effects that prevent units follow-up attacks. Okay, so what does all this mean? So first, being a flying beast means that when he transforms, Nesala can move an extra space. Already, this is easily the most mobile movement type in the game, giving him the range of a cavalry unit, while still being able to go through forests, trenches, and untraversable terrain. Second, Nesala deals true damage equal to 15% of his speed stat. This pairs excellently with the fact that he gains 12 attack and 10 speed from his weapon. At max investment, 15% of his speed can be up to 11, and that becomes extra damage that Nesala deals every single hit no matter what. This combined with his monster of an attack stat means that he'll hit harder than a quirked up white boy with a little bit of swag, busting it down sexual style. Thirdly, if Nesala's speed is greater than his opponent's, his special will gain an extra charge per attack, just like the flashing blade effect. This allows him to incorporate specials more consistently into his attacks, and this also negates the very common guard effect, making him just more consistent in general. Low cooldown specials like Moonbow will activate in pretty much all combats, and he can make high cooldown specials like Gale Force work too. Lastly is the effect that pushes Nesala over the edge. If his speed is greater than or equal to 6 more than his opponent's, he prevents effects that prevent his follow-up attacks. Effects that prevent follow-up attacks are extremely common on slow tanky units, so effects that disable them are basically required for player phase units nowadays. Nesala coming with the effect in his weapon, along with everything else I just talked about, makes him absolutely bussin'. No cap, no kizzy, on a stack, bussin'. Subscribe to Connerzak on YouTube. Okay, so now let's talk about some of the skills you can put on him. For an A skill, if you're on a budget, his default Swift Sparrow 2 does perfectly fine, as does Swift Sparrow 3. For more premium options, your choices are Surge Sparrow or Attack Speed Catch. So Surge Sparrow is going to do better if you plan on using him for purely player phase, and Attack Speed Catch is active in both phases, so you can use it if you're doing a dual phase build. If you do plan on using him in both phases, then Speed Smoke 4 is a great premium option, giving him damage reduction after he initiates combat. For a player phase build, you can go with Orion skill if you're choosing, and if you're on a budget, you can do some stat support sting skill, whatever there. A perfect budget option for his B skill would actually be his default skill, Guard. A player phase unit's biggest fear is dying to a huge special from the opponent they're attacking into, and Guard will mostly prevent that from happening. Premium options include Dive Bomb, which is going to give you the best matchups across the board, and is great if you're going purely player phase. His other option is of course going to be a Trace skill, which pairs excellently with his ridiculous movement, and makes him one of the best hit and runners in the game. One last thing is that Nesala works absolute wonders in arena modes if you have Blue Dual Flying 4, since he can take out some of the most common and annoying tanks there and has great movement. Nesala has a lot of potential for customization, and your build for him should rely on both your preferences and the skills you have available in your barracks. Unless you got him as a Forma a while back, in which case you're eating good.